It is time for us to go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to this session of the Services Network. The meeting will be recorded, so don't forget about that in case you have colleagues that aren't able to make it and would like to see what's happening. How's everybody doing? Let's see those faces. I already saw some of you guys as you came into the meeting, so don't say your camera doesn't work. I know how this is. There you go, there you go. I got some faces. So how are we feeling today? Are we feeling thumbs up, middle, down-ish, somewhere? How's everybody feeling? Give me a thumbs, give me some. Are we feeling up, up, up? Okay, 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 okay. There you go. I see people, there you go. Wow, very positive Friday. I like that. That's good, that's good. Well, today, the objective is for this, wherever this finger was, for it to go even higher, because we get opportunity to hear from you guys and also to have a time to really just talk within ourselves. So we're gonna start with that. In the past, we usually do it through chat. But this time, I kind of want you guys to just talk about it. You know, how are you guys feeling now? As we are I think my wife told me that they have 30 days left of actual school. How are you guys feeling for these last 30 some days? This is going to be your question for the breakout. We will break out only for a few minutes. All right. Yeah, you know, it's important to be able to talk about these things, you know, and the school year transitions from what we're starting to do, then we're already prepping for the next thing. Kids come into the program, kids are ready to leave, kids are ready to graduate, kids are ready to transition into middle school, elementary. It's good to be able to talk to someone about that stuff. So don't forget to do that. We're gonna jump into our first first guest of today, which is from ESU 9. Catherine, welcome. Are you ready?
Yes. Hi, guys. My name is Catherine Pacheco. So I started with the ESU 9 last summer school, and I was part of the mobile unit. So I just knew this position was for me because I'm a middle school and high school, and when I was in high school, I was also part of the migrant program. And I like the idea of helping students and helping families as well. So looking back, I think as a service provider, I would say that everybody has their ups and downs, you know, and I'm just proud of until here, like we're almost done with the school year, and just happy to see how everybody had the progress that everybody and every student has been through. And I think one of the proudest moments that I had as a service provider was when one of my students actually graduated early, and he was one of our PFS, kind of like, yeah, he was PFS. And then I was so proud when he was like, oh yeah, I'm able to graduate. He got all his credits, and I was so happy about that. Some tips that I would give to you guys would be just be patient, you know. I don't know, be flexible and just be ready for change. So
Catherine, you've been with the program this is going to be your first, technically it'll be your year at the beginning of summer school, right?
Yes, June.
In June. So after you've gone through almost a full cycle, what has been your favorite part of the year?
I would say I love summer school, and I love working with the middle schools. And I think my favorite would be just helping how the transition between middle school and high school, and just be able to help those students and just make them feel comfortable and like, hey, it's gonna be okay, you know. So
For sure. I also, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're part-time, right?
yes.
Yes, you're part-time. So you're juggling this plus you're also in school. What is everything that you're doing, and how do you balance all of that?
So I'm a full-time student at UNK, and being part-time with the MEP has honestly helped me a lot to balance my time. just being able to be on top of it and, oh, this is my schedule for Monday or this is my schedule for Wednesday. So just having that schedule and having those reminders, it's my best friend. Mhm.
That's right. Perfect. So you mentioned, that the MEP helped you with that stuff. Tell me, what are some of the skills that you feel like maybe you have learned from the job and taking them into the classroom as and you're gonna graduate soon, right?
Yes, I just got one semester.
Okay, so that's awesome. But yeah, talk to us.
Mhm.
What were some of those skills that you transfer from this job to your school?
I would say time management and just being flexible.
Being
Mhm.
flexible. Tell me more.
Like for example, you don't know, you get this phone call or, oh, this student needs this right now, or for the next week it's going to be a change in your schedule, and it's just like, just how do I maintain my schedule the same from school, and how do I change and adapt to MEP? So,
Mm, for
if
sure.
that makes sense.
Yes, it does. It does. Thank you. Thank you. So for next year, what are some of the things that you wish to do different for your second year as a service provider? Even you can even talk about summer.
Mm, I think, like you said, different. Sorry, I'm gonna be in here.
Yeah, different. How would you do things different next year, either as you're working with students or the ways that you prepare for it, or the ways that you
I
juggle things?
think I think for me would be like having at least 1 or 2 days to just plan and see anything, because we had a student that recently moved schools, so the schedule changed. So it's
Mhm.
like, how am I gonna fit this student in my schedule in the next 2 weeks or in the next week? Because we gotta make that change happen as soon as possible. So I would just say having those days to plan and actually just sit and think, and not just having every day doing something and something. So I would just recommend having, like, for me, having one day to just sit down and plan. Especially being part-time is kind of hard too.
Oh, for sure, for sure. What would be, we do have some new people here, by the way, today. So this is a very relevant question, right? What do you wish someone told you that first week, first month when you started working with the MEP?
I would say too, it's okay not to be, I don't know, like it's okay not to be always knowing what's next, not to be always prepared, oh, you have this to give the students, or it's okay to just go to the schools and listen to them sometimes, you know. Mhm.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Perfect. All right. Well, anything else you would like to share with the group?
I don't think so.
I think so. Awesome. All right. Well, give her a round of applause. Thank you so much for your time and for being brave to share with
Thank
us.
you.
Now you guys know you have a person that has a dorm available for you guys to stop by in Kearney if you need to. That's what Catherine's for, right? Perfect. Okay, well, we will continue with our agenda. And the next item will be a time that we have kind of developed this new year, right? Where we allow one of you to come and chat with us about something or multiple things that you believe are best practice within your position. And today we have someone representing ESU 7. Abby, welcome and thank you. This is your time.
Yeah, hello, I'm going to share my screen really quick.
Yes. It should kick me out the moment you press it.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, take notes. And Abby, before you start, I do have a question for you. You're gonna be like, that wasn't part of the deal. What are you using to create this presentation? Can you tell everybody what you're using?
Canva,
What is Canva? And why do you use it?
a free website that's really nice because it's a lot of graphic design that you can do. You can do posters, presentations, PowerPoints, anything like that. Our ESU 7 actually has it for us as well. There's a free version, but they provided that for us. So whenever we make invites or anything just to catch students' attention after Juan kind of mentioned that to us about attention grabbing. I really wanted to start using it a lot more. And so I've been trying to focus on that and kind of just capture people's attention better.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that looks really nice. I'll just say every educational entity, such as the ESUs and school districts, you guys have a premium account that you can use for Canva, FYI. So go into Canva. If you guys have questions about it, you can just ask Abby. I'm just kidding. You can ask either one, and we can help you get that set up. But Abby, it's your time. Thank you.
All righty. I just wanted to start off saying that this morning, about 30 minutes ago, one of my students said that he won the Susan Buffett Scholarship. I'm very happy about that. So the student has moved about 27 times and 3 times his senior year. And so very excited for him. So just good news right now to start off with. So I am going to be talking about the best practices. Again, my name is Abby and I'm with ESU 7. I'm a service provider. Okay, so just some information. I mostly work with 6th grade up. We don't have any, well, I don't have any, or some OSY, 1 or 2 OSYs, but so 6th grade to 21. I work with about 10 different school districts around this area. I have about 30 students, and with those students, that includes students that are EL students, students that are on IEPs, students that are just in regular class. But a lot of the students that I work with have gaps in their education. They're needing mental health support. They're needing behavior support as well. So there is a lot involved in helping the students. And best practices. So a couple things that I wanted to mention would be some of the things that I do that have helped out. When I first started the program, I wanted to make sure that I had a good relationship with superintendents and principals. I wanted to make sure that I scheduled home visits right away with the families to be able to have those connections. And a big one I put there was advocate. Advocating for anything that our students are needing. Another one would be supporting students with consistent visits. And then building connections with the communities. So it does get a little hard when you do have a lot of different communities that you work with, but finding those resources right away, finding local pantries, finding different resources like we have United Way that helps the families out to pay bills, to do anything that they're needing financially as well. And the libraries. A lot of our students tend to not have a place to go to or they're bored. So getting them involved with the library helps out a lot. And many libraries are wanting more information as to how can they use up their money to involve students. So that's been a great thing for me to do for sure. So at the beginning, when I mentioned that I like to have meetings with superintendents and principals, I actually created a flyer just so they can get to know me personally. And so I provide them different information. I have this flyer that I give them. I let them know who I am. I let them know what the Title 1C program is, the migrant program. Just experiences that I've had, just a little bit of information about me. And I believe that the effect on that is it fosters relationships and trust with those school districts and even families, because I do give them that as well. Other things that I hand to those superintendents and principals in school districts are these flyers that we have part of the migrant program as well. When we work with the different districts, a lot of them may not know what the migrant program is, or they've maybe heard about it just a little bit. So providing these flyers have really helped for them to get to know the program that we're, through Nebraska as well, and our numbers, and including again what the migrant program is and how we support our students. And I just get them off of the NDE website. So quick tips again, work with the schools to advocate for services. So sometimes I think we tend to want to help the students out and see what we can do personally. But again, it's about advocating for those services. So we always want to create those partnerships with the school. I think they're more willing to do that when you have those partnerships. And so when you're advocating for services, I think the school districts see that you're in for it, like you know that you're here to support the students, but you also got to know the information, and which I'm going to talk a little bit more about that of what you're advocating for. When you receive work from teachers, ask them, what do the tests say? What do NSCA say? What does the EL test say? What MEP says? I know some of the school districts do different things, but check those tests. Ask them, how can we support the student? Work with them and ask those teachers to give you that work. That way you're receiving that from the teachers that know the students best and those gaps that they're needing. Again, email teachers for this work. Again, it helps build those partnerships. And just going back to, again, meeting with staff such as principals on a weekly basis, even just to say hello. Update on services being given based on teacher recommendations. I've had situations where principals are like, we didn't even know that the students needed this support. Where did you get that information? And I'm like, your teachers gave me MAP scores, your teachers, gave me information. And so the principals really appreciate that, working together. Another thing would be parents and students need to be reliable for work. So you can walk through things, but don't do it for them. And that I have seen that makes a big difference when you're there asking the parents or asking students, okay, what do you not understand? What part are you stuck on? Okay, you've done what work up to what point? So how can I support you? I think it holds responsibility for the families and for the students. And so when they come and ask you for support, they already have done their part, and now they're just asking you for that one part that they're kind of confused about. Another thing would be, because you want to advocate, you want to make sure that you're keeping up with laws, regulations, NDE rules. So that can include EL, SPED. You want to work with people that can help you. So I have my coworkers, they're amazing. All of the other service providers, they have helped out tremendously, but there are situations that are very different. So we do need to go that extra mile to ask for help. So I work a lot with Mark, Kendra, and I ask Cynthia, my supervisor, many questions. And so I know that she supports me in a lot of things, and we sit through a lot of the different things that arise. Again, because these are small towns that may just be getting for the first time, not only migrant students, but EL students. And so you're needing to make sure to ask for that support. And so just a little information on who Mark is. Mark is our ESU 7 Title III director. He helps out with the English learners. He helps me out with the different school districts. It helps him to know what the school districts are also needing. So if you have an ESU or you work with different ESUs, I really would suggest working with those different departments to be able to help out. And then Kendra as well, she does MTSS. And for those that don't know what MTSS is, I took this off of the NDE website. So basically it's an continuous improvement to guide school districts, schools, and all educators to ensure each and every student has access to learning experiences that enhance their educational outcomes. And so when you're needing that support or needing guidance on how to advocate, or needing someone to step in that knows a little bit more about that information, I go to Kendra as well for that. And so here are some of the forms, some of the information that I use to be able to guide those schools, to advocate for students. For example, with English learners, I make sure that I ask the school districts or the teachers Are you supporting the students in these ways? You know, allowing extended time? Are you helping the students by shortening things up or using graphic organizers? And you would be surprised how many school districts are stunned by me knowing that information, because I think, again, many school districts are not aware or they're new to some of this stuff. And so again, when you know this information, you kind of let them know. I think it helps out that you're not gonna back up, sort of to say, but you're gonna keep advocating. Just some comments from staff that I work with. So I have a principal that mentions, I would say we have a great partnership. You help bridge the gap with our migrant workers or students. You're great about relating to students and building a relationship with the families. I find that I often utilize you to confirm that parents truly understand what we're doing at the school. And you also are a great resource for families, as they often feel comfortable asking questions that you can either ask or ask us for answers. She's mentions it's been great to have your help over the past few years. Another principal mentions a little bit about that partnership that we have. He mentions, I really enjoy the fact that you are willing to come and have a conversation with me before and after your visits. This helps me keep me updated on different things that you're doing to help our students. I know that that your relationship with students have helped our students be more successful. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically helping out or having those relationships. As you can see here, there's more, but again, this one mentions you relay their needs, both educational, but importantly, personal, clothing, mental health, living situations. A lot of advocating and helping out there. Make sure that our students don't fall through the cracks. And then I have another one that I really like. He mentions, additionally, the advocating that you do for our students in the migrant education program is respectable. And so I really appreciated that, because they see our work that we do. And then I have a superintendent here too that mentions different things. And so again, I believe that just making sure that you have those connections and those partnerships with the school districts first, with the families, it's going to help you be able to close those gaps for students and to be able to advocate. And that is all.
Wow, I did the thing where I started talking without unmuting. I haven't done that in a while. Anyways, Abby, we have one question, and I'm sure there's probably more, but the one on the chat, Sarah wanted to know how, that is great info, and also how often do you see your students and for how long?
So it just depends. Most of my students, I do see them about once a week or once every 2 weeks. And for how long, it just depends on the school districts. So again, we're here to support our students. We don't want to pull them away from any of their classes that, for example, because I do work with the older ones. So I come in either during a study hall time period. It could be 40 minutes, 45 minutes. It could be, sometimes I've met students before school and getting there just so there's time for me to meet with them. So sometimes 7:30, 7:40 at the end of the day during lunch. So we try to not pull them away from any classes. And I know that some school districts kind of push that, well, no, you're here to help them, so anytime is fine. But we really feel like that is not best for us to do that, neither for us to take them out during PE or anything like that, because the students enjoy it and they need that brain break.
Any other questions for our second guest of the day?
I had a question. Abigail, is there any way that you can share the MDE document with the group? I just curious to read about it and learn more about it, because sometimes we do have to advocate for for the students. And I feel like the more information as a provider we have is better way to advocate for the families.
Yeah, I sure can. And that's like I said, one thing that's really helped me out is finding those directors that have helped me out, for like the EL directors, the SPED directors, MTSS directors, because they've given me that information, but I'm willing to share that for sure, because that, like I mentioned, has helped advocate for students when you know that information.
Yes. Anyone else? All right. Well, let's give Abby a round of virtual applause. Thank you so much for volunteering and being brave to do this with us. We will continue with our agenda, and our next part is, oh, I'm not sharing screen, awkward. There you go. It's connect time. And during this connect time, we're going to try to put you, I think most people will be in the same group that you were with this last, when we broke out the first time. And if you do need some questions to start the conversation, we do have some, there's some on this bit.ly. You can find it. I can also copy paste it on there. You just put this bit.ly/MEP_SNK and a Q, and you'll be able to have some questions. But this is the time to ask whatever you need. We're going to be in those breakouts for about 15 minutes. If you guys need to step out at any time, it is okay. We have a few announcements before we close for the day, but remember, this is all going to be recorded. So I will put you guys into those breakouts real quick. You'll have 14 minutes, and then it'll say 60 seconds that is going to come bring you back. And everybody should be back. Well, would that go well? Was that good? You guys, one more time? Next time, no worries. We will have our last one. We'll talk about that a little bit. But before we talk about that, if you are part of the ISOC training and you missed the last one, we have the videos in the link below. The next one is April 27th. Remember that that date changed from the 20th to the 27th. So please be aware of that. I put the link on the chat that you guys can see. That's where we update everything for that training. And I just wanted to shoot a reminder, if you ever want to see, or if you're new and you want to view the last trainings that have been recorded, you can find them on the services video hub that can be found on the NDE website or on the bit.ly that is on the screen. And like always, before we head out, we got on board this train. Now we need to get out, and we need your exit ticket. Please scan the code on the screen, give us your feedback. And we are looking for 2 individuals to talk about the celebration talk portion, and then someone to talk about best practice on our last session on May 10th. If you are feeling like you want to share what you got, or you just want to let people know who you are, like Catherine did today, please let me know. I will be reaching out to people if I don't hear from anyone. And remember, you always have the option to say, no, I don't want to do that. But if you want to do it, I would really appreciate it. And I know people would love to get to know you. I've only seen that this has been a positive thing for people. So I hope that you guys feel encouraged to do it. So please just complete this. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me. A lot of things are moving, and I'm feeling really excited for this summer and for what's coming next year. So I hope you guys feel the same. But let's close it with a very strong last few months of school and prepping for summer school. So have a good one, everybody, and we'll be in touch.